Wow, I'm impressed. Taiwan, Taipei. That's great. Our first international guest. Welcome, Marco. Not to say welcome to everybody else who seem to be mostly from the West Coast, San Diego, Seattle. Welcome all. And let's make sure you throw in your LinkedIn profile, given the session's all about LinkedIn. Put in your LinkedIn profile so we can make sure you all connect with each other. That's the goal of the session. Excellent. Well, I think we should get going. So hello, everybody. My name's Diane Jones, and I am the VP of Operations here at CannabizTeam Worldwide, and want to sincerely thank you all for taking time out of your day today to join us for our third webinar in the series of cannabis careers. And this one is, of course, going forward with the LinkedIn profile. So again, I say throw your LinkedIn message into the chat so we can make sure we all connect with you. So fascinating thing is LinkedIn has been one of the few social media platforms that has really embraced the cannabis industry. So we're thrilled to say, here's a number you should be very excited about: over 70,000 open cannabis positions on LinkedIn right now. They have so many jobs, but specific to the cannabis industry. So that's the reason why you want to be looking at your LinkedIn profile and listening to what our recruiters have to say in terms of optimizing your profile. We're going to cover these topics today. Our team of recruiters who are all on the line will share some tips and techniques with you as we go through the concept of harnessing your LinkedIn profile to find that job for you in cannabis. So please, again, any questions you have, just throw them in the chat, because there will be a Q&A session at the end of these topics that will get to all the questions and answers. So I'm going to hand it over to Ben to start off with our optimizing your LinkedIn profile. And Ben's one of our senior recruiting managers out in our Baltimore office.
Fantastic. Thanks, Diane. So like you said, we're going to just kind of jump in and talk a little bit about optimizing your LinkedIn profile. I'm going to go ahead and start off and just talk a little bit about the importance of having a professional photo and customizing your banner and your headline on your profile. So your profile picture is your calling card on LinkedIn. It's how people are introduced to you, and it governs their impressions from the start. So some quick tips to kind of start off with here. I would say that making sure that your picture is recent and that it looks like you is really important. Making sure that your face kind of takes up about 60% of the frame. Long distance shots really just don't stand out. I would wear what you would normally wear to work, and really just don't forget to smile. Secondly, your background photo is really the second visual element at the top of your profile page. It grabs people's attention and really sets the context and shows a little bit more about what matters to you. More than anything, the right background photo helps your page stand out. It engages attention and helps to keep you memorable. And then touching on the headline section as well, there's really no rule that says that your description at the top of your profile page has to just be a job title. So I would use the headline field to say a little bit more about how you see your role, why you do what you do, and really what makes you tick. And just as an example here, I talked to an HR business partner yesterday that had a headline that I really liked, and she had her title up there, but she also had people and culture leader, multilingual, talent manager, employee and relations, cannabis enthusiast, and let's connect. So she really touches on a personal note here with the let's connect. She mentions her enthusiasm for cannabis and also mixes in her skills and language and job title, all within a brief eye-catching sentence. Next, we'll talk a little bit about mentioning cannabis skills and experience in the about section. So it's really amazing how many people still leave this field blank when creating their LinkedIn profile. Making sure to mention your cannabis skills and your related and/or transferable skills and experience in this section is really critical. So even if you just reference the word cannabis one time, it can dramatically improve visibility when we're searching for cannabis candidates. So your summary is really just kind of a chance to tell your own story. You don't want to just pull a list of your skills or job titles that you've had. Try to bring to life why those skills matter, and why you're so passionate about the cannabis industry. The difference that you've made in some of the people that you've worked with or currently or previously are good things to put in there as well. And really just kind of a basic structure to follow here would be just have a brief intro, skills and experience and achievements in the next section with maybe some numbers or some quantifiable data are great things to throw in, some personal interests, and then kind of follow up with a call to action. So keep it kind of brief, between 3 to 5 paragraphs. And the call to action can really just be as simple as an invitation to chat about the industry with you. So those are great things too. And then lastly, we'll touch a little bit on the importance of the job description on your LinkedIn page and having that match your resume. So hiring managers can be really picky about comparing the details on your resume to your LinkedIn page. So avoid raising any red flags and really just kind of make sure that the information is consistent. So some things to make sure in this regard would be dates of employment, job titles, key accomplishments, kind of core details about your work history, your technical skills, your education backgrounds, and really anything that's going to get verified by a reference check by the company. These are all really important things to make sure that match on your resume and your LinkedIn profile. You can actually watch our previous webinar on this topic. It goes into things a little bit more in depth, but these are definitely things to make sure that match up. And now we'll kind of move on to a little bit of a did you know section. So did you know that you can actually upload a cover letter and resume into your LinkedIn profile? You can mark yourself open to work, and you can also ask for recommendations all from your LinkedIn profile. So the next few short videos are going to demonstrate exactly how to accomplish these 3 things and their importance in having a complete LinkedIn profile. So in this video, we're going to demonstrate how to upload your resume and or cover letter to your LinkedIn profile, how to mark yourself open to work so that recruiters can see that you're interested in new job opportunities, and how to send recommendation requests. LinkedIn has an option to attach files that you can link your resumes, portfolios, and other public materials within your profile. It's really just as simple as logging in, scanning over to your profile picture or your name. We're going to scan down to add profile section, click on recommended, click on add featured. Then we'll go ahead and click on the plus sign in the top corner here. Click on add media. From here, we can select our resume from our hard drive. We'll go ahead and open that. Type in a brief description. Click save. And then we can go back to our main page. And our resume will be here in the featured section for review. You can expand this in the corner here, view both pages. You can also download this as a PDF as well. So in this video, we're going to demonstrate how to upload your resume and or cover letter. Next, we'll move on to talk about how to mark yourself open to work. If you're looking for a job, you can let recruiters and your network on LinkedIn know that you're open to new job opportunities. We'll start by going back to our main profile page just by selecting our profile picture or our name. We're going to click on Open To, which is next to the profile section button we used previously. We'll select Finding a New Job from the pull-down menu. And then from here, you can specify the types of job opportunities that you're interested in and your preferred location. LinkedIn will actually help your profile show up in search results when recruiters look for suitable job candidates for their open positions. So we'll go ahead and leave job titles as Senior Recruiting Manager. We can add in remote as location types. We'll leave Baltimore as on-site and remote locations, but you can feel free to add additional. And then you can also select the start date, whether you're immediately looking and actively applying for new roles or whether you're just flexible and you are casually looking. You can also select the type of employment you're looking for, whether it's full-time or part-time, contract, internship, temporary. And then 2 selections underneath that are really the most important to pay attention to. So with open to work, you have control over who's able to see that you're ready to take on a new job opportunity. You can choose who sees that you're open. So with selecting recruiters only people using LinkedIn Recruiter will be able to see that you're open to work. To protect your privacy, LinkedIn does take steps to prevent LinkedIn Recruiter users who work at your current company from seeing your shared career interests, but they can't guarantee complete privacy. You always want to be careful with this if you're currently employed and your current employer isn't aware that you're seeking new employment opportunities. The same applies for the second selection as well, marking all LinkedIn members. This is going to include recruiters and people at your current company. It also adds the hashtag open to work photo frame around your profile picture. Saving this page takes you on to a section where you can start a post from the next screen, showing your network that you're open to new opportunities to increase your visibility there as well. You can also customize this page with however you like, but it comes standard with, "Hi everyone, I'm looking for a new role and would appreciate your support. Thank you in advance for any connections, advice, or opportunities that you can offer. Hashtag open to work." From there, you can click post and it goes onto your feed. Next. So for our last section, we're going to talk about how to send LinkedIn recommendations. Recommendations lend more credibility to who you are as a professional, and they're very simple to request and add in LinkedIn as well. We're going to start from our main profile page. We'll select Add Profile Section like we've done previously. We'll click Add Recommendations. And from here, it's going to ask us who do we want to ask. We're going to go ahead and select Liesl Bernard, who's our CEO. But you want to make sure that you are specifically asking for recommendations from past managers and supervisors and potentially coworkers if the situation calls for it. On the next screen, it's going to ask us, how do we know Liesl and what our relationship was? So I'll click on Liesl Managed Me Directly. It's going to ask for what my position was at the time. I'm going to click on Senior Recruiting Manager. It's also going to pre-populate a personalized message at the bottom and say, "Hi Liesl, would you write me a recommendation, please?" We're going to go ahead and replace this with something a little bit more personalized. Something along the lines of, "Hi Liesl, I hope this message finds you well. I'm in the final interview process with a new company. I thoroughly enjoyed working for you and learned so much during my time with your company. Could you take a few minutes to write a LinkedIn recommendation for me? I believe it could go a long way with the final decision for this company to bring me onto their team." You can also use this opportunity to give them talking points and to help tell your personal brand narrative. Recommendations really take things a step further than just endorsements on your LinkedIn page. There are personal testimonials written to illustrate the experience of working with you. So take the time to think about who you would most value a recommendation from and personalize the request. Like I mentioned, it's really worth the extra effort. Lastly, I did want to mention the importance of networking so you can get recommendations from cannabis industry professionals. Giving recommendations to get recommendations is really the best plan of attack here. Perfect. So now I'm just going to pass it off to John. He's going to discuss the importance of keywords in recruiter searches. And these are super important when we're reaching out for candidates with specific experience in different areas. So you may want to grab a pen and paper and jot some of these down as John goes through them.
Thank you very much, Ben. A lot of great information there. As Ben alluded to, I'm going to be talking about keywords and why they're important. So just to let you know, recruiters and HR departments use LinkedIn and other apps to find you based on keywords. HR departments use applicant tracking system, ATS, that will go out and they will scour either internet web pages and or resumes for these keywords. And for that reason, it's important to use the right keywords for the cannabis job that you're looking and highlighting your skills and your experience. Using these correct keywords can really allow you to show up on these HR searches and staffing searches and improve your chance for being discovered and improve your visibility there. You can see some of the keywords here in the industry that we use: cannabis, hemp, CBD, marijuana. LinkedIn does not have an official job or industry classification called cannabis. Instead, they use alternative medicine. So keep that in mind when you're searching. Once you have your keywords established, you have the ability to audit your own LinkedIn profile. There are free online keyword checkers that you can use, and perhaps adjusting the keywords will again help improve your odds there. One thing, if you don't have any previous cannabis experience, it's not necessary, but it is important to perhaps mention that somewhere on your profile. You could list, I have a passion for the cannabis industry, right on your main LinkedIn profile summary, or seeking a position in the cannabis industry will allow you to show up. Just make sure that you use one of these keywords, which will help you out. Talk a little bit about job descriptions. Once you find a cannabis job or job description that you're a match for, you can also analyze that using keyword density checkers and other online keyword search tools. And the more closely you line up for the skills and experience the company is looking for, the better your odds of being discovered. So again, we're just trying to help improve your visibility to be discovered online. No need to reinvent the wheel. If you see a profile of somebody in the industry that you think looks particularly professional or well written, feel free to pull some design elements off there, perhaps some verbiage or keywords, and you can use it in your own profile. And lastly, I'd say if you're stuck or it seems a little bit overwhelming or want to discuss keywords or anything on your resume or LinkedIn, we're here to help. Just feel free to reach out to myself or one of the other recruiting managers, and we'll help you along your way, and love to help you find a job in the industry. So with that being said, here's just a couple of keywords for different verticals, whether you're in marketing, legal, sales. It's a good idea to use some of these. The link will be provided following the seminar here. And that being said, I'll pass it off to Rochelle. She's one of our senior recruiting managers. She's going to discuss searching for companies in particular. So Rochelle.
Yeah, thanks, John. Hello, everybody. I'm Rochelle. Just also want to remind you, take a minute. If you have any questions and you want to post something in the chat, go ahead, and also put in your LinkedIn profile if you can as well. That helps us know where you're from and a little bit more about you. So I just want to jump in. Now that we've talked about optimizing your LinkedIn profile with keywords, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how to network and research companies within the industry. So first, you want to start off with research. I mean, research is very important process in this. For example, you can start at just even go into Google, do a quick search on top cannabis companies in the industry. And then from there, you can start to make a list of some of the companies you want to target. I always say 5 to 10 companies, write them down, go out and do as much research on them as you can. And then second, I would go out to the company page on LinkedIn and be sure to follow it. They always have a lot of great information. Take a look at the employees who work there and connect with them as well. And a couple tips on that would be to, when you are sending a request to connect, be sure that you add context, explain why you're connecting and what benefit they will receive to be connected with you. And then also just be sure that your LinkedIn profile is complete before sending the request. Making a good first impression is key when you're connecting with new people. And then also check out the company's posts. Keep an eye on what they post about. Join their groups. Just kind of get a feel for kind of what they're doing out there in the market. And then even check to see if you have commonalities with current employees, such as maybe you attended the same college, or you live in the same area. And those are just kind of like icebreakers to kind of get started. And then third, just do a keyword search. Looking up cannabis or CBD or hemp and keeping it pretty broad is a really good idea. Don't focus on titles as much because that will narrow your search and limit your results. And then also look up jobs that match your interest and qualifications. You're obviously going to get a better result if you possess the skills that match the job description. So definitely keep that in mind, and that will help move things along a lot quicker. And then last but not least, follow CannabizTeam recruiters. As recruiters, we frequently post about jobs we're hiring for, industry news, and interview tips that will help you find your next job. So it's a great way to stay connected to the industry and kind of understand what's going on out here. Okay, and then next, I'm going to offer a video here that'll tell you how to set up job notification alerts in LinkedIn. So that's next. I'd like to show you about how to set up a job alert in LinkedIn. One of the great things about creating a job alert is it helps you stay notified about newly created positions. So first you want to start with the home page of LinkedIn, which is where we are right now. Head on over to the jobs icon up here at the middle of the screen. And then from there, you want to go on over to job alerts. Click on that icon. And this is where you would search for a job that you're looking for. For purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to find a cannabis cultivation role in the state of California. Okay, so we have 567 results here, jobs that are posted. And if you like the search, you can go ahead and toggle and save the alert right here. Or else if you would like to create filters, you can, there's a variety of filters that you can create for this search. But I'm going to go ahead and toggle.
Sorry about the technical glitch there. We should get back at it now.
I'd like to show you. And then from there, you want to go on over to job purposes of this demonstration.
My apologies. I had click happy hand there.
7 results here. Go ahead and toggle and save the alert right here. Or else if you would like to create filters, you can, there's a variety of filters that you can create for this search. But I'm going to go ahead and toggle and save this search. And that's pretty much all you really need to do to save a job alert. And if you do want to make a change or edit anything in that alert, you can go to this screen and click on the pencil. You can change the frequency and also the way you get notified. You can, change that however you'd like, and then save that, and then hit done, and basically you're done. So it shows you right here you've created an alert. There are 6 new ones since you created it. And the other thing to remember is if you want to create multiple job alerts, you can definitely do that. Just follow the same steps, and then you will be notified whenever there's a new role in the area that you're looking for. Great. So hopefully that offered a little bit of advice and a pro tip on how to do the job alert. So, now that we've talked about optimization, keywords, networking in the cannabis industry, and then setting up job alerts, I'd like to pass it over to Liz, who will tell you more about how to apply for a job on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rochelle. And yeah, I'm really excited about this section because this is a lot of fun and you guys can get a lot of traction here when you're hunting for your new roles. So there's 2 ways to apply to roles on LinkedIn. You can do the traditional application process, or you could use your connections in your network. So 2 things I would love for you to know is that, did you know that 9 out of 10 employers use LinkedIn during their hiring process? That is a very big percentage there that we have. So knowing that your LinkedIn fits your profile, your resume, all the things that Ben and my coworkers shared so far are so important, because LinkedIn is being used when people are looking you up for the hiring process, even if you don't apply through LinkedIn. And then the other thing is that 50% of the hires result from a personal connection, which is huge. That means whether someone knows you, gives you a little high five, or if you make a personal connection with somebody new and get into the company that way, which I'll explain here in a second. So with the first way of applying, traditionally online, there are a few things that we would like to highlight to stand out in the application process via LinkedIn. So first, one of the first things is obviously to update your resume and cover letter and get that posted online, just like Ben said. So it's on your LinkedIn profile. There's no questions. They have exactly what you bring to the table. Again, go to our previous webinar on what to put on your resume, keywords, cover letters, etc., because that will be super helpful if you're trying to land a job here in the cannabis industry. Again, make sure it matches. And then there is a way to share part of your profile or fully share your profile. If you are open to work, I suggest to make sure your whole profile is shared so they can see all of the great things and content that you have, the recommendations, etc. And then lastly, when you're applying on LinkedIn, it depends on what the company puts on their application process via LinkedIn, but sometimes there are questions, additional questions, and make sure you answer those questions. If you do not answer those questions, you'll get a 0, and it shows up to that recruiter that you landed 0 out of how many questions, and you most likely won't get a call. So that is the way to use the traditional process and how to land a job in our best practices. So next, the one I'm more passionate about and I think really has more traction and gets you, that foot in the door is how you use your connections. The connection process is pretty fun and simple. Rochelle highlighted on a few of those already. So I just want to kind of dig into it a little bit more. So following a company, as soon as you find a company that you're looking into, hit follow. You will start seeing all of their posts, all of their job postings, which is important for you, and anything that you can connect with on a personal level with that company. Once you connect with them, then you're going to start going through their posts and liking or commenting on a few, leaving little hints that you are very interested in this company and what they're bringing to the table in the industry. So all of those are very important, just saying, oh, congratulations on your growth, if it's something about opening a new dispensary or something like that. So something short and sweet, but very positive and uplifting to the company because it will get noticed. Then after you connect with the company, now you're going to say, okay, let me find some specific people within this company to connect with. And this is where your question comes into play, that when I send messages, it's not, hey, I want to talk, I want to join your team. That's not a message. That's not how you're going to win somebody over or get that personal connection that you need to really get their buy-in. It's going to be me going to their personal page, finding someone that's in the industry or the venue that I want to go in, say marketing, and I'm going to find those marketing people. I'm going to find something common on their page. Say someone says, since I'm from Baltimore, that they're a Baltimore Ravens fan or an Eagles fan, right? I'm going to comment that I'm a diehard Ravens fan. Hopefully that doesn't count me out on the running. Something funny to make them laugh, but show that I showed interest on them and their page and what they bring to the table, and say, would love to connect to learn more about your team. So definitely get it personalized. You can have that little, sales pitch in there if you want, but I always say kind of court them, make those warm touches first, and that will really get you that buy-in of that person to have your back to join their team. So really positive, uplifting, connections. And on that note, make sure you keep all of your social media positive. No one wants a negative Nancy running around their team. So, they check LinkedIn. I guarantee you they check Facebook and Instagram and all those things. If you have really strong opinions and things you want to keep on social media, then keep it private. But my personal opinion and suggestion would be just to keep everything as positive as possible, because people love positive people. It just breeds more positivity, and that's all what we all need here. And then, lastly, most important, please do not forget to follow up and stand out. If you just send a connection and a quick message, sometimes the first time doesn't always work. So just keep at it. Make sure you connect with different people and definitely get your name out there. So that's a little bit of, ways you can stand out. And I would love to share a very personal story to our team on how this exact scenario worked out for our newest member, who fortunately for her, she's on vacation today. So I'd love for her to share it personally, but she's very close to us as well and became a top performer. And she sent a message just like this, which we're about to share, to Ben on our team. And this is what landed her, her job here at the Cannabis team. So Ben, it's wonderful to virtually meet you. I've been doing research into executive search firms throughout the cannabis industry and was very impressed with all the educational information your team shares on LinkedIn. I would love to schedule a time for us to connect so I can learn more about your team and let me know what's works best for you. So super simple and sweet and short and to the point, but she showed value and gave us a little, shout out, and really made Ben feel warm and fuzzy. And he was really excited to talk to Danielle, got on the phone with her, got her over to our CEO, and now she's one of the top performers and rock and rolling on the team and enjoying her vacation. So, these personal messages really, really do work. Again, we've had people send other things, really funny things. On my banner, it says that the future is female and she's a plant, and people always comment on that, and that usually makes me smile. So definitely look at their profile, find something to compare with them, and reach out. And then lastly, my biggest thing is connect. You can't connect more, because once you start connecting, your network will start looking like this. You'll have first, second, third degree connections, and you'll be able to use the power of LinkedIn to what you need. So you'll be able to go in here and say, oh my gosh, so-and-so that I know that worked at this company knows someone at this company. Let me use them. Let me use my easy in to get in the door. So if you're trying to say, how do I get connected to these people? Search cannabis, search your state, start hitting connect, and you'll find the right person. So hope that helps a little bit. I really enjoyed being able to share this passion of ours with you guys, and some really good practices for you guys to land that next job. Obviously, we will be a really great resource for you. So please reach out to anybody on our team, because we would love to represent you and break in as many amazing people into this industry, because it is honestly the best industry to be a part of. So I really appreciate your time today. And now we're going to move to Kristen with our Q&A section, where we're going to answer some really good questions you guys are putting forward. Thank you.
Perfect. There's so much great information. So thank you, Liz, for that. This is the Q&A portion of the webinar. We've been seeing some great questions coming through. We're going to answer any of those questions. If we're not able to answer them, or if you want more information from us, please don't hesitate to email at contact@CannabizTeam.com. So shoot us an email and we'll be able to answer any of those additional questions. You can see that we are focused specifically on the cannabis industry and providing tips specific to our field, but you can also check out on LinkedIn Learning, which has a lot of additional resources. We will share that link in the chat as well. So first, to answer this first question, I'm going to pass it over again to Liz, who is one of our senior recruiting managers located in Baltimore, obviously very proficient in LinkedIn. And this one came from Eileen, joining us from San Francisco. She asked, what if you don't have any experience in the cannabis industry? How do you position your profile in relation to what was just shared? So Liz, awesome. Take it off for us.
Yes, I love this question. So thank you so much, Eileen. So one of the biggest things, like Ben said, or, in your about section, and I think John alluded to as well in his part, is, using those keywords. And when you talk about cannabis, and if you don't have cannabis experience, my suggestion would be talk about your why in cannabis. Why do you want? What is the passion behind it? So say, give us all the juicy information about what makes you great and the top candidate and all the great things that you've achieved, but then say, looking to break into the cannabis industry, or have a passion about the cannabis industry because I have a personal, connection to someone who has medically, had a better life because of the plant. So give a passion and a good why, because we are looking for someone who is passionate about the industry. This is an all-in industry. So seeing that you have that passion is going to be a really good foot in the door. So I would share that in your about section. And then, the next part is is going back to our previous seminar on resumes and the key words in your industry. So say you're in accounting, you would look at that accounting section that John used and all those key words. Those are words that us recruiters are going to be searching that are also words that can be used outside of the industry. So if you have that experience, just please make sure those certain keywords are on there. If you see a job description that's like, oh my gosh, this fits my background, use this again, like John said, use the thing to find the words that stand out the most and make sure that that is on your profile, you know, and readily available for people to search. So again, keywords and relatable experience is really important. And we talk a lot about that in some of our first seminar actually about breaking in the industry. So I would definitely refer back to that, but also reach out to us as well. We can help you with that on a personal note. Thank
Excellent.
you. Hope that answers it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Liz. That's so much great information again. So I want to pass it over to Rochelle. She is one of our senior recruiting managers. She's located in Texas. We're going to have her answer the question from Seth, who is joining us from Seattle, Washington. He asked, I'm generally not seeing cannabis companies with role titles that would normally align with my skills. Do you have any suggestions, Rochelle?
Yeah, I saw that on the chat. And so what I would do is if you're not finding anything, is just broaden your search a little bit. You know, you can start with just cannabis in the USA. That's as kind of broad as you get. And then you can kind of just hone it in, create filters, you know, look in certain segments of the country. I noticed that I looked at your LinkedIn profile and it looked like you had something to do with quality management. So I put in cannabis quality. That was my suggestion. And then just put the USA and then look to see what they have open. And then if you want to, you know, like I said, narrow it down a little bit, just create some filters. And then that way, when you're creating a job alert, you know, you can make sure you're getting included in those. But always go as broad as possible and then just kind of bring it in based on what you're looking for.
Perfect. That's excellent. The next question, we've kind of answered a couple questions in the chat, but I would like to, you know, give some people the opportunity to really speak more to it. I want to pass the next one over to John. Matt was asking if, given the relative novelty of the industry, is LinkedIn the primary platform being used by startup and high growth cannabis companies for staffing versus other niche job boards?
I'd say LinkedIn is by far and away the most professional, large scale platform that you are able to find jobs. It's eclipsing Indeed, if you ask me, at least for the higher end jobs. You know, if you have a very much of an entry level job, I think that those aren't as likely to be on LinkedIn. But yeah, certainly LinkedIn with its, you know, alternative medicine. One of these days, cannabis, hemp, CBD, the industry is going to be combined, and they're just going to say what it is rather than alternative medicine, and that will be on there. That'll be helpful. But I think when you use these keywords in your own searches to look for jobs, like Rochelle said, start more broad, and then get down. But yeah, you can for Instagram and some of these others, you can see sort of branding styles. You know, you can't advertise cannabis specifically on there, and you very infrequently I'd see any jobs posted at all. So I'd say LinkedIn would be number one. Indeed's very valuable too, and there's some others.
Perfect. Yes. I would say also, which I just put in the chat, is to follow the CannabizTeam link as well. You'll see all of our jobs. We're posting new jobs every single day too. So you'll get a really great idea of some of the jobs that are available out there. In addition, or a lot of our jobs are also posted on LinkedIn as well. So be sure to check that out. And I'm sure everyone saw that statistic that 9 out of 10 employers are using LinkedIn. So I think that's a really powerful message right there, that it really is such a useful tool, and really employers are using that one a lot. This next one I wanted to pass over to Ben. He is located in Baltimore. we want to have him answer the question from Michael. How do you call out transferable skills from non-cannabis to the cannabis industry to pique interest within the industry?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great question. Yeah. I think that like pretty much every what we would call vertical or section or like division of the cannabis industry is completely relatable to every other industry that's out there. Every company has a finance department. Every company has a marketing department. Every company has legal. So it's really tying in your experience into your current role in your current company and how you can relate that into a need of a company. So if there's a position that's posted up for, let's say like, a legal compliance officer with a company, if you have experience and you have, your JD and that you work for a company currently doing compliance for maybe, alcohol and tobacco, those are great things to kind of throw in there because it's a super highly regulated industry. It's very transferable in. Same thing, like my division does a lot in like quality management, environmental health and safety, and lab and production manufacturing operations. All those positions exist in other companies as well. So whether it's, that you've got a manufacturing company that's, making books, for example, all those departments have quality management heads of their department. They have health and safety directors that, walk the plant and, make sure that everything's operating properly. They have, people in the lab that are testing for paper and things of that nature. So it's just really highlighting the skills that you have in your current role and how you can apply that to the job that you're actually interested in. And just kind of going back to another question that was on there, I think that was talking about, how should you put a personalized kind of note in the connection? And I think that that's a great opportunity to highlight that just a little bit. I think there's kind of a fine line between being too wordy with your connection request and being too short. So just a brief introduction and a brief kind of highlight of, what you're doing currently and how that relates to the role. I think that's a great opportunity to kind of put that in there as well.
Perfect. I know a lot of people watching today are probably trying to break into the cannabis industry. You might not have any of that experience. One great place to start is also our temp division. So looking for some of those temp positions out there are a wonderful way to get experience, get your foot in the door, and many of those companies will do temp to hire, so they'll keep you on board as well. Another thing I did want to mention that we've spoken about in previous webinars that we've done are to take courses, list those in your profile as well. There are a lot of cannabis courses and resources out there where you can get certifications, so that's really fun. Well, thank you everyone so much for all of these questions. We may not be able to answer all of them. The cannabis industry obviously is booming and we're really excited at the growth that we're seeing and all of the jobs that are out there. But please, again, visit our website at www.CannabizTeam.com. Apply for any of those positions that interest you. I love seeing everyone posting their LinkedIn profiles. It's such a great way to connect with other professionals in the cannabis industry. I did want to provide on our next slide some of the tips for locating in-person and online cannabis events. So you can get more involved and more educated. It's doing things in person and online, getting that face-to-face time is really the best way to get involved and to network within the cannabis industry. One of our favorites is Event High that has so many wonderful cannabis related events. Eventbrite has all kinds of events, but you can narrow it down. Fairchild events as well, and then even Googling cannabis events near me, so you can see any of those things that are happening in your area. So you can also visit our website. We have a bunch of blogs and information on there as well. So first, I want to say thank you to all of our presenters for dedicating your time and providing so much great information today. Join us for our next webinar where we will be discussing how to prepare for a cannabis interview. Lots of great tips and tricks. Thank you for allowing us to educate you on this topic and to be part of your cannabis career journey. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks.